Miami, South Beach, bringing the heat,
Will Smith breaking it down to begin this, baby. We are back. It is UFC 314, and my God, I'm happy to be back. It's been a minute. March was tough. It was hectic, but man, we've got this breakdown coming your way. We've got UFC Kansas City coming your way. We got UFC Des Moines, my hometown, hosting a card with Figueiredo fighting Sandhagen. That's going to be epic. Then we're heading into UFC 315. But first, we're diving into UFC 314. If you didn't know, it's in Miami. It's going to be ridiculous. It's April 12th. We've got Volkanovski, the legend, fighting Diego Lopez. We've got Bryce Mitchell, the fucknut loser, Nazi-loving fruitcake, fighting the fighting Nurjan Silva. We got Paddy the Batty Pimblett fighting maybe the greatest loser of all time in UFC history, Michael Chandler, at a UFC record of 2-4. Constantly headlining, even though he's an electric loser. Sorry if that hurts your feelings. But folks, we're here. The prelims could be a fight night on their own. The main card is electric. We're going to break that down for you today. I got some notes here. I got some parlays. I got some predictions. We're here to have fun. Don't forget that, yeah, we're breaking down the fights, but we're also here to have a great time. You hear that noise, folks? Take a puff. Take a drink, whatever you're doing. I hope you're watching this and enjoying yourself. I'm going to break this down into some shorts, so if you need to watch it in a quicker way, that's cool too. If you're not subscribed, make sure you get here. Make sure you are detailed. And we're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We're close to Facebook. We're on TikTok. Most importantly, we're on YouTube. Guys, so watch out for our polls. Watch out for our shorts. We're posting all sorts of different stuff. As I continue to say in every episode, we are growing every time. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you got a drink nearby. Let's dive into these fights. Cheers. As you can see behind me, we got Diego Lopez fighting Brian Ortega. A little bit of a to get you back in the groove of his most recent fight. The guy's a killer. And we're going to dive into his fight, Paddy's fight, Jean Silva's fight, and the newcomer, Patricio Pitbull. And, of course, Dominic Reyes that finishes out the main card. Actually starts it, if I'm to be clear. So let's dive in, folks. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back. We got content coming at you like crazy. Let's dive into this card. Woo! Take another puff real quick. If I didn't mention already, I got this cigar from Willie's Cigars in Chandler. 51 years of rolling experience. 100% hand-rolled Cuban cigars. This is a real treat. So if you're ever on the east side of the valley, make sure you hit him up. The guy rolls the best cigars. So let's head on in, folks. We've got a lot to break down. I'm going to try to do this as fast as we can, but we got a lot to get into. So let's freaking dive in, y'all. Let me turn that down a little bit. So, Volk, Diego, Chandler, Paddy, Bryce, Silva, Yair, Pitbull, Krylov, Reyes. Well, let's jump into the prelims first. We'll get to bets. We'll get to predictions, I promise you. And I'll send out some shorts just to break it down in case you're so lazy you can't watch it all. I had one coworker be like, "Hey, Cam, what's your percentage of most correct bets?" Bro, fuck off with that noise. I ain't here to give you $1 million. I ain't here to break down every single incredible bet. You can go through my videos. I've had some great predictions. I've had some great locks of the night. But we'll dive into that. This YouTube channel, we're growing. We're getting better every day. I see these other YouTubers, they got lame-ass closet setups, one poster behind them. The UFC Phoenix Fight Garage is getting better every single time, as you can see. So let's dive in. To start off the prelims, we have Darren Elkins versus Julian Rosa. Rosa has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Both of these guys are 3-2 in their last 5. Both of them are coming off wins. Elkins is 29-11. Julian is 30-12. It's a toss-up. This one is a clear toss-up. I'll leave that up to you. Moving into our next fight, Jim Miller, the absolute legendary UFC lightweight with a record of 38-18. He's won 3 of his last 4, but my God, he almost got killed against Bobby King Green. He has been fighting in the UFC since 2008. He has fought guys like Oliveira twice, Nick Diaz, Donald Cerrone twice, Poirier, Pettis, Hooker. The guy's fought everyone in his division that's elite. And now he's going against Chase Hooper, who looks exactly like Ben Askren, but has twice as many skills. He's 5 inches taller. He's 3 inches in reach advantage, and he's on a 4-fight win streak. His last 3 fights, 1 round, 2 rounds, 1 round, all by submission over Clay Guida, Borshav, and Levitt. Not exactly studs of the division, but you can tell he's wrecking them, and wrecking them quick. I love Chase Hooper there. Sorry to Jim Miller. Going into the next one, we've got a lady fight at strawweight. I'm sure if you watch the UFC, you always tune into Zhang Weili, who is continuously an absolute machine. But when she fought Yan Xiaonan, her former Chinese, or her fellow Chinese fighter, she took her all 5 rounds, but she's fighting the cross-eyed looking ass Verna Jandroba, which Verna's 21-3. She might be the ugliest girl on the roster. Sorry, but she's damn good at fighting. Submitted Lemos. Decision over Luby Gadanez. Hasn't lost since 2021. 14 wins by submission. Most likely, this is going to decision, but winner is probably going to get another title shot or their first title shot against Zhang Weili. Because, God, she owns everybody. She owns that whole division, so Dana White's probably just like, who wants it? Who wants to fight her? So whoever wins that, I imagine they get a shot. Our last fight of the prelims is Dan Ige, which you might know that name based off previous fights, of course, but he also had that like 3-hour notice, 1-hour notice to fight Diego Lopez. Did a pretty good job, went to decision, but in his last couple fights, he's lost to Bryce Mitchell, he's lost to Lerone Murphy, Diego and Emmett, Movsfar, Korean Zombie. He's fought all those guys. So when he fights someone big, he loses. When he fights kind of an average Joe in the division, he pulls it out. So, with that being said, he fights Sean Woodson, the sniper. 7-inch height advantage, 7-inch reach advantage, 13-1 versus Dan Ige's 18-9. This is a gatekeeper fight. If you don't know what gatekeeper means or what I mean by that, I'm saying this is Sean Woodson's chance to get into the top 15. Dan Ige literally is number 15. So he's going to take it to him. Woodson hasn't lost since 2020. He's on a roll. And like I said, his name's the Sniper. So this should be a great one at featherweight to wrap out the prelims. I love Woodson here, but we'll get more into that here when we get to fight bets and predictions at the end of the video. Going into our main event, folks, it starts out with Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. Nikita Krylov has 23. You heard me right. 23 first-round finishes. 12 wins by KO. 16 by submission. 3-fight win streak. His style is karate, but man, he's damn good on the ground when he submitted Spawn with a triangle choke in round 1 of his last fight. This is a light heavyweight matchup with Krylov coming in at 30-9. He's 33 years old. Dominic Reyes is 35. Dominic Reyes is quietly one of my favorite fighters. I tweeted it earlier this week. If you haven't rewatched the fight between him and John Jones, folks, I think John Jones lost that fight. Got into an argument with my buddy recently about that fight. Ding, ding, ding. Take a drink, take a puff. Here we are talking about these fights. That's a tough one. I hate to call that one. Like I said, I think Dom beat John Jones, but ever since then, he has been on a slight down streak. Won his last 2, but I thought he got killed by Yuri Prohashka a couple years back on a spinning elbow. I thought he literally died in the ring. He also lost to Blachowicz, and he's on a 2-fight win streak, so he's working his way back up in the light heavyweight division. He's a kickboxer. He's an American. This is a huge fight for his career. We'll come back to that on who I'm picking. But I really hope Dom comes to play because I know Krylov's going to be looking to take it to the ground. Into our next fight, which really begins our epic pinnacle of fights. Back to back to back to back. Just great competition on this card. Yair Rodriguez 2-fight losing streak. An absolute beast, a former interim champ. His last few fights, though, he got submitted by Ortega, KO'd by Volk. He submitted Josh Emmett, though, and previously KO'd Ortega. So, he's well-rounded. He has a lot of fights by KO, 4 by submission. He did lose to Holloway at some point, but he hasn't fought in 14 months. This is, once again, a gatekeeper fight. He's bringing in the Patricio Pitbull, who is 37 years old and has been fighting since I was in the 6th grade. Since 2004, this guy has been a professional. So the question is, I know this guy's good, but is it too late? Coming in to fight Yair Rodriguez, obviously this is a huge fight for him. If he wins, he could get shut straight up and fight someone like Holloway or Mobsar right away. And then if he wins that, he gets a title shot. But he's 37 years old. This is fucking crazy. 17 title fights. 17 title fights in Bellator. He only lost 4 of those. So this guy's been in the big moment, but not in the UFC. He has lost 2 of his last 3, and this is the biggest opportunity he's had. If he wins this, it's massive. If Yair wins this, it's massive. They both shoot up the rankings and get a big fight. They win that one, they head to the title. That one's also a very tough call. Like I said, Patricio is 36-7 at the age of 37. Yair is 16-5 at the age of 32. They're both coming off a couple losses. Yair's lost his last 2. Patricio's 2 of 3. This is a big one for the featherweight division. Heading into the next one, Bryce Mitchell, the absolute fucking loser of the UFC. If you live under a rock, maybe you haven't seen that Bryce Mitchell has been an advocate of Adolf Hitler, saying that he had good ideas and he'd love to go fishing with him. Fuck Bryce Mitchell. If that dude wins, God, I hope they don't let him get a microphone. So we are all pulling for Gene Silva. If you pull for Nazi Hitler, you obviously haven't read a book, you haven't watched a documentary, you haven't watched a movie, you haven't been to a Holocaust museum, you didn't study it in college like I did, okay? I went to Holocaust classes, Holocaust museums, history just broken down during the World War II. This guy's a god-dang idiot. He also thinks the world is flat. When he got KO'd by Josh Emmett, it was one of the happiest days I've watched in the UFC. I hope he gets his fucking neck cranked. And they got to take Bryce Mitchell to the hospital. I can't wait to clip this and send it to Bryce Mitchell. Fuck him up, Gene Silva. The fighting nerd of Brazilian. God, he's favored in Vegas right now. He's orthodox his last couple wins. He's beaten Jourdain. He's beaten Dober. He's beaten Melsick. Hasn't lost since 2018. So he is on the come up at only 15-2 and 28 years old. Bryce is 17-3. I will say, Bryce probably has the grappling advantage. So I imagine Bryce is trying to take it to the ground. But Bryce also has a 3-inch reach advantage. He fights southpaw, oh yeah, and he's a fucking loser. So, go Jean Silva. We'll come back to that in the predictions and bets. Last 2 fights of the night. Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. You heard me mention at the beginning of this video, Michael Chandler is electric, but he is 2-4 in the UFC. Decision loss to Oliveira, submitted by Poirier. He did KO Tony Ferguson in epic fashion. Lost to Gaethje decision, lost to Oliveira again, and then he KO'd Dan Hooker right when he got into the UFC. So he's won 2 fights against Tony Ferguson, who, honestly, who gives a fuck? He's lost his last 100 fights. And then Hooker, who's obviously on the come-up. I was looking up Michael Chandler's wrestling record, thinking he might have been a national champion. 68-32 in wrestling in college. That's pretty shit. So we'll see. I imagine Paddy actually has the grappling advantage. Chandler has 13 first-round wins, so I could see it being electric first. But man, Paddy's never had any trouble. Maybe against Jordan Levitt in the UFC, but he's handled his business. He's 2 inches taller, has a 2-inch reach advantage on Michael. 10 wins by submission. He submitted Bobby Green, broke his arm, knocked him out cold. Decision over Tony Ferguson, decision over Gordon. But he has never gone 5 rounds. I'm not exactly sure if this is a 5-round fight, but for Paddy's sake, I hope it is. Because in a Cage Warriors. He had 3 5-round fights. He lost 2 of them. So if it is 5, I give Michael the advantage. If it's 3, I give Patty the advantage. Scouses don't get knocked out. I love Patty here. Plus, I don't want to see Patty get knocked out, which also leads me into my next one. No one wants to see Volk get knocked out. Volkanovski, Diego Lopez is the main event. In Miami, April 12th. The final fight of the night should be a great one. It is for the featherweight title of the world since Ilia Topuria vacated his title and is going up to lightweight. Volk is 36. He is an absolute legend. But when I watch his content on YouTube, he's constantly being like, I'm so prepared. I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to fight Mobsar next. So he's already thinking about who he's going to fight next. I'm worried, man, because Diego Lopez is an absolute killer. Now, Diego Lopez hasn't had some sort of killer fight besides Brian Ortega and Dan Ige. So maybe this will be too big of lights for him. But for some reason, I feel like this is Diego's time. Volk has a lot on the line. If he gets submitted or destroyed again, I could see him hanging up the gloves. I hope that doesn't happen, folks. I really hope it doesn't. I love Volkanovski. I love guys out of Australia. But Diego's 26-6, 15 first-round finishes. Huge jump up to fight Volk. He's 5 inches taller with a 1-inch reach advantage. Diego's 30 to Volk's 36. Diego's last loss was to Mavzar in 2023, which is nothing to be ashamed about. Last 2 wins, though, went to decision. So I could see this going 5 rounds. But man, if it goes 5 rounds, it's going to be an absolute war. So, huge Aussie versus Brazilian fight. Huge American versus English with Chandler and Patty. Bryce, the Nazi loser, versus John Silva, the fighting nerd. Yair Rodriguez, the former interim champ, versus the newcomer Patricio Pitbull. And Dominic Reyes versus Nikita Krylov. It is a great, great card. Let's dive in to the next part of this video where we have bets. I know y'all love bets. I know y'all love a little breakdown. Sorry, had to give that a little more life. Boom, take a drink. Lock of the night. I got to figure out a better name for that because I hate how everybody uses that, lock of the night. If you think of something better, let me know. My locks of the night locks of the night are Hooper and Woodson. Hooper's like minus 700, so that's not like anything crazy. He's probably going to fucking wreck Jim Miller, and he's probably going to do it on the ground. And then Woodson, I like him beating Dan Ige for the reasons I mentioned earlier. So those are my locks. God dang, that's a nice cigar. Parlay. My parlay. I like Patty. I like Hooper, and I like Woodson. That's plus 204, so $20 wins you 60. Main card. If for some reason I'm an absolute god and I get all these right, make sure you send me half of it. We've got Diego. I chose Lopez. Diego, Patty, Krylov, Silva, Pitbull. Plus 1748. $20 wins you 370. So yeah, send me 140 if you win that. Average Joe's bets. My buddy Joe. He loves Patty, Pitbull, Volk, Dom, Silva. Plus 2,000. Plus 2,000. $20 gets you around $400. My wife loves Patty, Volk, and Silva. I don't know how you could bet on Bryce Mitchell. Fuck that guy. So, we just broke it all down, folks. Great card. Great fighters. Great potential bets. If you're not subscribed, get it done. If you're not riding the Phoenix Fight Garage train yet, get on it. Okay, we are here and here to stay. Like I mentioned earlier, we got a UFC Des Moines breakdown coming up, UFC Kansas City breakdown coming up, and of course, UFC 315. with Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Maddalena. And also, we got Shevchenko on that card, Jose Aldo on that card, Gilbert Burns on that card. Looking forward to it. So we've got tons of great fights coming up. I appreciate y'all being here. Keep it up. Keep up the grind. And make sure you're back here for next time. Hope y'all have a great day, great week. Till next time, y'all.